This channel is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken as legal advice. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tuesday. Wow, the week is already a nude. And for all of those that got to enjoy your relaxing weekend, let me tell you, the weather has taken a turn for the better here as we are now into springtime. We're springing in. I remember it's spring cleaning and all the things I have to do that I didn't get to, that have been building up during the winter time. So now I'm going through my office supplies and all of this. You can't see the mess that I have to deal with, but I'm ready for the spring season. And also for all this, how we're springing into many new adjustments and updates here at Creditor Academy. We're going to be talking about a big subject today, one of my favorite subjects, which is about the promissory notes, the non-UCC, and how to use it to get a Ferrari. The Ferrari. We were looking at Ferraris a couple weeks ago on Facebook Marketplace, and I was kind of talking about, yeah, you can get it this way, but I want to show you guys how to get any vehicle or anything like that utilizing a promissory note and the non-UCC and a trust and your lines of credit. It's basically just moving paper around, basically. But, it's definitely doable. So we're going to go into that today. If you are a first-time viewer here at Creditor Academy on our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button and notification bell and join our private Facebook group. We are at 3,200 members right now in our private Facebook group. And we're about to hit 8,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Maybe by this Thursday, I'll be able to say that. So 8,000 in less than a year. Wow. That is amazing. That's truly huge. That's huge. So I'll be excited for that. In addition, I want to go through Creditor Academy updates. And I want to talk about the school in general before I go into today's lesson plan. Really high level, Creditor Academy is a private education association with the mission to help you bring back sovereignty into your life by becoming private, and also to be a capitalist. A capitalist is one that utilizes other people's time and other people's money for your dream. That is what a capitalist is. And a capitalist thrives mostly in a sovereign nation like the United States. That's why we're one of the most richest, most powerful nations in the world, is because the Constitution and capitalism go so well hand in hand. With that being said, as a private education association, that really just means one thing. It means that we're a private school, but it does not tell you the type of education that you will be receiving at our academy and how we structured it. Now, for many of you, you already know that we just gained a huge LMS platform partnership, a learning management system platform. It is equal to that now of a major university. And, when me and the instructional designers were putting together the courses, we had to make a decision on the type of learning. There are many types of versions of education that are out there. But one of my favorite forms of education is what I did during my private school years. And from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade, I went to what is called a Montessori. Has anybody ever heard of a Montessori? Anybody ever been to one? You've been to one? Yeah.
My son went to one.
Oh,
Oldest son. He became an intelligence officer after that.
Oh, really? Oh, it is a great form of education. I got to say, the only detriment that I see with Montessori's is they usually only go as high as 8th grade. Not very many high schools continue the Montessori method after that. So I wanted to at least kind of touch base on what the Montessori method is at a very high level. Really, it's self-paced. It's your accountability. See, in a normal school setting, like a public school, you have one teacher, one instructor that teaches the class, and they have to teach to the lowest level student that's in the classroom and can only progress as slow as the student with who is not getting the subject matter. What this does is it makes a lot of frustration for individuals who want to succeed or go beyond, who are really picking it up and go faster. The Montessori method, if you're accountable, if you do your homework, if you finish the assignments, if you show that you know the material, there's no limit to how fast that you can go through your schooling program. Actually, most private wealth people, most rich people, I'll just say, or affluent people, I should say, send their kids to Montessori's and invest in their education because they want their students to shave off years of their educational experience so then they have more time in their career and to graduate. So I love the Montessori. I wasn't always the best. I wasn't always the worst, but I was in between. There were some courses and classes that were difficult and that were self-paced, but I felt encouragement through mastery. It basically made me more accountable to do my work and to make sure that it was done properly so I can move on to the next level. And really, it helps you in business greatly and in life too, because you're accustomed to being self-accountable to meet deadlines in order for you to match the rest of the class. And we want the same with everybody here at the Academy. I don't get upset or, feel any type of resentment at all when I receive questions from students from various different levels. Some of you ask me questions. I'm like, wow, that's a really advanced question. I have to put some thought into detail on that. And all the way to a very basic question, like what is assisted KV trust and what's this movement all about? We're all at different levels. So what we do is with the Academy inside the LMS system and in our instructions and with our instructors is we did a mirror system of the Montessori method. So you will be able to self-pace. If you want to complete the entire Academy program, you can complete it at probably the soonest 3 to 4 months if you are really diligent. The longer people, it could take as long as 9 months, if you're taking things into sections. So 9 months to even a year. See, because we have 4 course curriculum. We have our freshman Masterclass. That's where all your basics are covered. We talk about sovereignty. We talk about how to protect your sovereignty. We talk about the history, about how we got into the situation in the first place, and so on. We give you all the basics, okay? That's about a total of 48 lesson plans just in the freshman class. Then you go to your sophomore year. That's become private. Hey, Paul Michael, I got the entry-level stuff. What do I do now? Well, now that you got the entry-level stuff and you got the education of how we got here and how to protect your sovereignty and some of the basics, now let's go to actionable steps on how to become private. And that's your SBC, your status correction, your ID and badge. Excuse me. Springtime hay fever. Oh, it's going to be great. But become private is huge if you want to utilize bonds of the Treasury Department, if you want status correction to be American national and to be able to stand your ground and be outside of the for-profit commercial state. The junior year of the Academy is operate privately. Now you become private. Now you operate in the privates. This is all about business trusts, private membership associations, real estate trusts, and we're even coming out with a new course which is all about wholesale real estate and many others in the future. These are the entities that you control in the private, so then nothing you're personally accountable for anymore. This is your buffer. This is your own nothing, control everything Rockefeller quote that comes in that section of it. And then finally, your senior year, which is unlimited private credit. Now you're ready to utilize the credit and apply it to your private entities. So then you can get cars, assets, start a new business, entrepreneurship. maybe use it for retirement. A lot of people in retirement stage, you're like, Paul Michael, I'm not a young buck anymore. I just kind of want to live at peace and whatnot. This is the avenue to go for that. And it's very important. It's very streamlined. You know, right now it's about 200,000 in 3 months. You know, if you complete the unlimited private credit course. So people are graduating with these lines of credit. We like to say that we're not only knowledge driven, we're results driven as well. And in order for you to graduate, you have to demonstrate. It's like nursing school. I didn't just go to nursing school and just get the knowledge. I had clinicals. I had to demonstrate what I learned in the classroom in an actual clinical setting. So must you. I ain't here to just talk endlessly about something. I do want results. When you get results and when you work hard and you stick to the plan and the program that we developed with its realistic timeframes, and you're able to accomplish it, you finally got to your end goal. You got your access to your credit. You became private. You could protect yourself. And now all of your entities and all your businesses and cars and houses are now in the private as well. You are officially have made it from there. And not only that, but you're not doing it alone. It's same as you have 200,000 and you know how to operate in the private. So are others that are along with you, and you should do business with one another, you know, and invest in each other's companies. So I'm highly motivated to get you there. This is why I invested in the largest LMS platform in the world. There is no question about it. Is in #1 in the world. And then I also invested in instructional designers who put together these course curriculum specifically to the Montessori model, and new faces to Creditor Academy. Ryan and I, man, we are instructors that are working full time. But there are more instructors to be added. There will be about 3 to 4 more new instructors. They all have their master's degree in teaching, and they are currently learning the curriculum of Creditor Academy in order to provide more class times and opportunities for you to get this education, as well as different teaching perspectives as well. So I'm very excited to have those new people added on. So with all that being said, if you have not joined Creditor Academy and would like to become a member and start your freshman year, you can go to creditoracademy.com and either call us on our hotline number or fill out the contact us page or send us an email and ask about our courses, classes, and how to enroll under your freshman Masterclass membership. So with that being said, we have a lot to discuss today. Ooh, this is a fun subject. Let's see. Let's go over my notes here. All right. I knew as soon as I put into the title non-UCC and getting a Ferrari and promissory notes that will be a popular subject, and now I have to back it up. So I have a presentation to go through how the step-by-step on how this is done in the privates. First, in order for us to do that, we have to talk about liens. Okay. Liens are a very important aspect when operating in the private, and applying liens is it's a great strategy for your entities. Okay. So if you want to apply a lien between 2 entities you own, it's a smart way to create structure, control, and legal separation, especially if you're working with layered trusts like holding companies and want to secure your intercompany loans. And we're going to explain how this is broken down step by step. So the first question is why would you do this? Okay. Well, you want to do this is you want to formalize a loan between your 2 entities. Okay. This is to protect your assets, like your property, vehicles, equipment, within one entity while leveraging the value in another. This is also to create separation and documentation for liability, tax, and other legal reasons. And it's also to establish priority in the case of disputes, creditors, or insolvencies. Okay. So let's do a little visual reference here. Okay. You have two business entities, entity A and entity B. Let's say entity A is the lender entity. Okay. The one providing the loan or financial backing. Okay. Then you have the borrower. This is the entity B. B is for borrower. It's the one receiving the loan and offering the collateral. Okay. The collateral would be a Ferrari. Okay. That we're going to use that as an example. So we need to apply a lien between the two entities we know by drafting a what? A loan agreement. What is a loan agreement? It's a secured promissory note. That's what it is. It's a loan agreement. But Paul Michael, I thought promissory notes were supposed to pay all my bills. I thought I was just supposed to mail it and everything's discharged. No, not quite. It's a loan agreement. Okay. It outlines the following: the amount that's loaned, the interest rates, the repayment terms, the default terms, and the collateral that's being offered, which is the Ferrari. Okay. And it clearly states that entity B, the borrower, is pledging specific collateral, the Ferrari, to entity A. Okay. So that's how that plays in. Okay. Then what you need to do is you need to draft a security agreement. Okay. A security agreement is what grants entity A a security interest in the collateral, the Ferrari. Okay. It lists a detailed description of the collateral. The Ferrari's got a VA. I need to find a picture of a Ferrari. We're talking about Ferraris. We got to show a Ferrari. And then I'll show you how to get a Ferrari, okay? Because I know that's coming up. But let's learn how to secure a Ferrari before we start talking about buying one. So I don't know if you looked at Ferrari's website recently. It's gorgeous. I love it. I absolutely love the Ferrari website. It's racing. It's a clothing line. It's other vehicles that for purchase for on the road. It's got V12 engines. It is used as the Formula One drag racing car. I mean, man, those things are super fast. And they have one of the greatest reputations. I remember, you ever see people that walk around? I remember I was in Mexico City. I was a medical transport for people going back to Mexico and Mexico City. And I would see so many guys with Ferrari across their polos that they were wearing. Then they had a Ferrari watch and the Ferrari shoes as they were climbing into their Honda Accord. I was like, bro, it's everywhere. You know, they do that the same in Europe. You notice that? The same in Europe. You know, they're like, oh, they got it. So anyways, so look, a new V12 icon. Love it. So continuing on, what we're talking about here is that you take a security agreement, okay, and you give a detailed description of the Ferrari inside the security agreement, okay? And remember, the security agreement is what grants entity A a security interest in the collateral. So you need a detailed description of the collateral, V12, Ferrari, you know, in the year 2025. You need to also list the rights of the lender, which is entity A, in case of default. And then you need the governing law or the jurisdiction. Now, that's where the common law can come in, right? And all contract law, common law, contract law, and constitutional law are pretty solid 3 ones to reference. So you're bringing into the private. Then you need signatures from both entities from their authorized representatives on the security agreement. Okay. Now you got a little web here, right? You have your two entities. Your two entities, what are they? They're business trusts. Entity A, the lender. Entity B, the borrower. They're business trust entities, okay? They're in the private. Now you have a loan agreement between the two business trust entities, which is called a secured promissory note, which says the amount loaned, the interest rate, the repayment, the default terms, and the collateral that's within there. Then now you have the underneath it, the security agreement that gives the detailed description of the collateral and the rights of the lender, okay, and the governing jurisdiction. Now, what's the last layer? What is the last layer, man? Is we need a secured party. We need a non-UCC financing statement, okay? Because it's for the record of a lien. Now, many of you might be asking, what is a non-UCC, okay? A non-UCC means that it does not conform to the UCC commercial code. It's non-UCC. And it looks like this. So you now have the UCC financing statement, and you put in first the debtor's name. Who's the debtor's name? I should have used names for this, okay? The debtor, though, is the borrower, okay? That's entity B. Entity B is the borrower. Now you have the secured party, which is the lender, which is entity A, right? That's the lender. What's the collateral? A Ferrari 2025 V12, okay? And you go down here and you read this and you're like, okay, there's a, this is a non-UCC filing, okay, which means it's private. You see, a UCC1 filing is public. You have to go through the Secretary of State. You have to do it publicly. But you could do a non-UCC, which means it's not public. It's in the private. You can even get it recorded at the county recorder, but you don't have to. And now you have a private lien, okay? And it's time-stamped. It's time-stamped. Okay, for when the on when the lien was initiated, and I'll talk about that in a second. But it's non-UCC, and this is between who? A seller and a buyer, right? It's between a seller and a buyer. So how do you then file or record a non-UCC if it's not public? It's through the private registered mail number, the registered mail number. How does that look? I have an example, non-UCC. Da-da-da. And it looks like okay. I'm gonna really zoom in here. There you go. Sure. Looks like that. Non-UCC official document filing per register mail number. And look at that. It's got a register mail number from what you shipped it from. Now, remember, the register mail number, it's just shipped to yourself. And then it's date posted and recorded. Here is, you can use any type of stamp. It has to be like a forever stamp or something like that. But you put a stamp across it, forever stamp across it, and then you put the EIN number of the secured party, and your signature from the authorized representative through it. And right here is the date in which it was recorded, which is the date you shipped it to yourself. So now you recorded privately your non-UCC. You will have a priority lien now over this Ferrari, okay? Now, let's go back to our steps now. So now you have done the following. What you have done is let's see. Now you have all the key elements to now have full control over these entities. Let me see. Let me find where I was at. Okay. Okay. Let me go a little bit more actually into what the non-UCC is all about. The non-UCC just simply refers to an agreement, liens, or contracts that are not governed by the Uniform Commercial Code. So I wanted to at least state that. The UCC governs most commercial transactions in the United States, particularly secured transactions, sales of goods, negotiable instruments, leases, and more. A UCC lien is a public and filed with the state Secretary of State, what makes it a statutory or government regulated framework, where a non-UCC agreement is a private agreement not filed publicly under the UCC statutes, and they are contractual liens under trusts and agreements created outside the statutory system. The common uses, as we're seeing for a non-UCC, are for private trust agreements, common law liens, or private membership associations. Okay. So I want to at least cover that. Now that we've gone over the necessary steps of now becoming the secured party over the Ferrari, we pretty much have everything that we need to secure the asset. And I'm just looking over to make sure I didn't forget anything. Nope, that's pretty much it. Oh, record a mortgage or deed of trust. Okay, so the last step underneath the non-UCC is record a mortgage or deed of trust. A deed of trust is what you're going to use, because if the collateral is real property, you draft a mortgage or a deed of trust. A Ferrari is not real property. It's personal property because it's an automobile. But if you're utilizing real property in this case, you would need a deed of trust. And you need to record that at the county recorder's office where the property is located. Okay. So yeah, so that's pretty much the summary of it. You have the secured, you have the collateral itself, the two entities, the business trusts who are holding the collateral. You have the secured promissory note, you have the security agreement, and you have the non-UCC to show that you have a priority lien over it. Now, the question becomes, how do you secure the Ferrari in the first place? You know now how to protect it after you purchase it, but now how do you go through the purchasing part right there, which is really coming into the trade line sign. Ryan, are you available? Ryan's like,
no, I wasn't listening. I just heard my name. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? I wanted to go over so much of the protection part. I used the example of a Ferrari because I saw one on the Ferrari website like last week, and I was just like, oh, that looks so good. I want one. I just covered in detail the high level, which is getting your business trust entities to acquire the property. You could do, and how to put a lien on it through utilizing a promissory note.
Sure.
Yeah, and a non-UCC and that. And so now the question becomes is, Ryan, how could I ever afford such a vehicle? What would I have to do to get there in the first place?
Well, I guess first of all, it depends on what vehicle do you want. Ferrari is always a good choice. You have a few options, right? You got Lambo, you got Rolls Royce, you got G-Wagon, you got Ferrari. I used to love the Lotus. That was a big one for me back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tall. I'm like 6'3". You know what I'm saying? So the Lotus is too like it's hard. But I used to see them. I used to live in DC. Every once in a while, I'd see one on the street and be like, oh my God, I think it's beautiful, but it's like a Matchbox almost.
It is. It's the Mini Cooper of sports cars.
Yeah, exactly. It's tiny. But I don't even know if they sell them anymore. But anyway, so the easiest way is to use business credit. By far, that's the hands down easiest way to purchase any sort of business that you want. Well, business being a car or being a business or being a house or any asset that you want, you can use business credit. What other questions do you have on that? Good
well, you know, the question becomes is this, because we have I see it in two ways to go about. I mean, really one way that I prefer, which is to do everything in the private. We looked at Facebook Marketplace about 2 weeks ago, where the Ferrari was originally posted on there. It was $76,000. I was interested in the vehicle. And what I was wanting to do is I set up everything in the back end. That's why I covered the promissory notes and the security agreement and the non-UCC and the business trust entity at first. And really, I was just thinking to myself, man, I should just talk to this individual and give them either a full line of credit to where I acquire the vehicle myself, not having to use a car loan or lender, and or I could just pay him outright in cash and then have a security loan there. But for the majority of individuals that are just going to be building the credit, how do you apply business credit to a private sale?
Oh man, there's so many ways. I'm gonna throw out a little golden nugget, which I haven't talked about before here. This is brand new. So there are some companies which offer unsecured loans. These are based on your personal credit or your business credit. This particular one that I'm thinking about actually utilizes your personal credit, but they offer unsecured loans, meaning no collateral required. So it is a loan. It shows up on your personal credit score as a personal loan, but it is underwritten as an auto loan. So it's a major benefit because auto loans are much more better underwritten than personal loans. Not only that, here's the big benefit of this particular company. Only one company I know. Well, there's two that do this, but there's one that's the gold standard, and they just wire you the money. There is no proof of documents required. There are no stated income along with your credit report. There are they don't, you know, typically when you do an auto loan, they're going to wire you the money directly. They're going to wire the purchase, the seller, the money, right? Or they're going to issue you, you know, in some way, they're going to make sure that money can only be used for that car. This particular company, they literally just deposit the money into your account, typically same day or next day. And they'll do upwards of $50,000 with no sort of documents required. No purchase order, you know, nothing. And it's going to show up on your personal credit score as a personal loan. So if you don't have any sort of personal loan, this will also help give you a credit mix. And remember that personal loans do not factor into your personal credit score. So there's a specific company. I don't know if you want me to reveal the company, but also bear in mind, even if I do, you have to know what to put in each box, right? There's specific little details on the application that are required in order to get this sort of result, right? Because if you do the wrong box, they might not approve you, right? So you have to make sure you do the right box with the right questions and the right answers. And if you fill it all correctly, within 1 day, they're going to just wire you that money. Let's say you wanted to put $5,000 down for a used car. You wanted to keep $45,000 for your business. You could do that, right? So there's lots of, and they run anywhere from 6.49. I just read an article on yesterday, 6.49% APR upwards to 25.99. So big sliding scale based on your credit score. But yeah, this company in particular will help you with that.
I mean, this is why you got to take the trade lines course. I understand that, you know, we don't want to give out the secret sauce because you're right. There's a methodology and a step-by-step process that you got to do before you get to that level. But I didn't know that. So it doesn't count against your, it's counted as an auto loan.
It's counted as a personal loan,
but personal
loans do not factor into your credit score as far as utilization, right? So utilization is that set, you've seen that pie chart, right? 35% of your score is your payment history.
Yes.
That's the biggest slice. The second biggest slice is utilization, which is 30% of your score. And so that is only considered with revolving lines of credit. So credit cards, HELOCs, or any sort of revolving lines. But personal loans or mortgages or auto loans, all three, do not factor into your utilization score. So you could have $500,000 in personal loans or $1 million mortgage, and that's not going to factor into your utilization as far as it's only credit cards or HELOCs or other forms of revolving lines of credit.
What? And they just write you a check. You could use that, whether a portion or all of it, for what it is your intended purposes is, or or split it between what, a business and personal.
Whatever you want.
Whatever
it's
you
your
want.
money.
Wow.
Whatever you want.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. It's
no bill of sale. Nothing required.
Is it our money or our credit?
It is your credit, which turns into your money, which you can use for whatever you want.
Man, this is why I love, this. I mean, I just started saying it not that long ago, but why I say to people that you don't have money problems, you have credit problems. This whole system is built upon credit, and it's just that you just don't understand the game. Once you know the game, life is great. You're like, oh, keep the rules the way that it is, and maximize it as best as you can. But truly, life is unlimited thereafter. I would love to give one of the purposes of today's YouTube video is to give people encouragement, especially for those that are doing really great in your trade lines course, the Build Unlimited Private Credit. And how are people doing? That is senior year of the Academy. Can you give us a glimpse of how your course is structured and how people are benefiting currently?
Sure. So high level, we can call it whatever you want, right? Building credit in the private, building credit generally, trade lines class, net 30, whatever you want to call it. It's a class where we teach you how to access your credit, right? That's the ultimate goal. So, I'll even lead up to it, right? Because that's the third pillar, So somebody could sign up a la carte if they want to just get into the trade lines class, they could do that. Or if they want to go through all three steps, right? So you could do your SPC and your status correction, which is put yourself in the private, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
you could do step 2, which is the trust. So getting your business trust set up, which is operating in the private. Then we have step 3 or pillar 3, which is building credit in the private. So these are the 3 kind of components of the academy, right? The Creditor Academy. So you have all 3 of those options available. Specifically in the third option, which is building business in the credit, we talk about building trade lines and net 30s, and the ultimate goal of that class, which I teach on Wednesdays and Friday mornings, is to access between $100,000 to $250,000 in 0% APR credit card, business credit cards, within 60 to 90 days. So that's what I teach in the class. And just a high level overview of what we do in that class. We have 3 main components made with a 4th add-on. The first one is we create, establish, and optimize your business. So actually having a business, making sure it's optimized appropriately for the underwriters. So when the banks look at you, they say, wow, we want to give this guy money. That's the first step. Second step is establishing our business profile. So having what's called a tier 1 accounts. So we have a thick file. So when, again, the underwriters look at us, they go, he's a great borrower. All destinations lead to the same result, right? So the whole point is making sure we look good from an underwriting perspective. So making sure your tier 1 accounts are properly established. So we have that. Tier 2, we have tier 2 accounts, making sure they're properly established. Again, same concept, making sure the underwriters like us. And then tier 3 is when we go out and we actually access that credit. So it depends on your situation. Everyone's case is a little bit different on how long it takes to get there. And that takes between 60 to 90 days, depending on your case. Let me add a caveat in there. If you join the class and you sit down, you take a nap, and you eat a banana, guess what? Nothing happens, right? It's 60 to 90 days based on action, right? So if you're following the steps with all of your effort and you're doing the goals, you're setting objectives, you're obtaining them day over day, and you're actually doing the actions required as per the class, then you get the result, right? If you join the class and just hang out and you want to enjoy and rest on your laurels, then guess what? 5 years could pass, you're not going to get a result, right? So just bear in mind, is based on what you put in is directly what you get out. What I can show you is the roadmap that's worked for me and many others that I've taught to establish business credit, just to throw that caveat on the end there.
Yeah, no, I like that you say that because, personal story of mine, I was a fitness trainer years ago and a sole proprietorship. And even though I was in business for many years, I did not what you call optimize a profile. I didn't have a website. It was all word of mouth. I just had social media and I was texting people. And if I was trying to appease the underwriters for my business, I mean, they wouldn't even know I was in business. They're like, dude, you're just some dude that's texting people and just saying Venmo me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And imagine, God forbid, if someone got injured while you're helping them.
Yeah.
You would have been fully liable. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. So, I mean, if someone is, I hear guys who are running, I'm doing a painting company, I'm a contractor. Well, what do you have? What's your company? Oh, I'm a sole prop. I just do business under my name. Holy crap. What if you fall off a ladder? What if one of your employees, it's insane. You know what I'm saying? How hard is it to go to the website and register a number? Like take 2 minutes. So little side note out there, if you're doing business and you don't have a business registration number, an EIN, then do that now.
Do that now.
Do that right now.
But you cover that. You tell people, hey, if you want to do my program, you gotta and that's what I like is you just cover all the basics. It's just, hey, this is what you need to do, which gives people the confidence that they got everything that they need. And that's the important aspect of it. And the other thing is whether you are in this truth or private movement and you want to get into the private, but you have a statutory business, Ryan, are they sitting on a gold mine? Are they still can utilize your class even if they're in the statutory? Can you shed some light on it?
Great point. So, just to define, in case someone may not be aware, statutory simply means registered with the state, right? Versus unincorporated, not registered with the state, just to define those terms. So we're clear on that, right? So if in statutory is any business for most people, any normal business owner is going to be registered with their local state. So that business, maybe you opened a company up 10 years ago and it's been sitting there. You haven't done anything with it. You have a registration number that has value, right? You can utilize that entity to start building business credit. And if it has 10 years of age, that's actually an asset that you can use for your benefit. It actually has value on the open market. So definitely, if you have a business now, if you had a business in the past, if you're going to set up a business in the future, they all can be done with the business credit trade line class can add on top of whatever situation you're in, statutory or non-statutory.
Absolutely. I love it. I wish I knew this years ago. If you'd like to register for any of the Creditor Academy courses, including Ryan's, you could go to creditoracademy.com, fill out the contact us form, or call our hotline number Monday through Saturday. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ryan, you've been a great encouragement. How are people doing in the class? Are they doing good?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. A lot of people growing. We're just in the 5th. We started January 1st. So we're just like 90 days roughly. Yeah. So we got people that are starting to get funded. They're right there at the finish line. We have a few guys who have their 2 out of their 3 profiles are established. We're working on getting 1 more up to date. And so the forerunners are doing well. We're growing. We have a new student who just enrolled this afternoon. Awesome. We had one who enjoyed, I think last week, was from out in the UK. So whether you're abroad, you can also join. 2 weeks ago, she joined. So you can join whether you're in the States or out of the States. That's a great point to mention. So if you're not in the States, can you open a business in America and build business credit? Guess what? The answer is yes. So no matter where you are, you can start getting into the American market and establishing that credit. So things are going well, and I'm looking forward to growth. I'm hoping that we have 50, 60, maybe 100 people in here in the next few weeks.
Hey, man, you've done over like that amount with the amount of people you helped with their personal credit already.
Oh yeah, we're rocking and rolling. That stuff's easy though. That's 1 hour consult. We get you settled up and
1 hour consult. Everything is dialed in, and for your personal credit side. And if you're struggling right now, if you're going through organization to organization looking for remedy, we start with remedy. We start And we know that it's such an important aspect when you're going through organization to organization. What paper, I remember it was the same thing for me, Ryan. What paper can I fill out for my house to be free?
Mm-hmm.
Or what paper can I fill out to get rid of this debt or anything like that? I mean, your service on the credit repair side is exactly that. We can help you. We can get you back on the feet, access to funding. So then you could just have peace of mind, you know, just to pay your bills on time and not worry about the huge encroaching finances or financial liability that you have. I'm going to go
careful of. I would say be careful of without recourse, with prejudice. Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Oh, I know. It's, I see it.
Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off. But
no. I'm glad you mentioned. Let's go to some questions. Crowned in the right of the Commonwealth. Let's go to you. Good to see you again, brother. He's on mute. I can see it. He's trying to hit the unmute button. He's right there. He can almost get it. Didn't get it. David Aberman. Let's go to you. Wait. There we go.
I've got some questions in the chat. How are we funneling funds, so to speak, to finance this Ferrari, for example? What's the backing?
Should I answer that one?
Yeah, absolutely. You answer that one. 100%.
Credit.
Yeah, credit. I was gonna say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But is it a build-up of credit over time, as you mentioned earlier, or what backs that credit?
Oh, your scores, whether it's personal or business, right? So you can utilize an entity, so an EIN number, your business entity, or you could utilize your personal credit score as well. Okay.
Again, is that built up over time? I mean, ultimately, we are the credit providers with our signature and our fruits and our labor, or mum's labor at least. How does that get assigned and transferred? That's my question.
Well, you have a credit score on your personal score, no matter where you're from. So that would be where the score comes from. You can let me highlight, because I want to answer the question and read between the lines a little bit on your answer here, right? So the key is that your credit score is established by your background, so your current situation. Now, a lot of us think that what's on our credit scores are static. This is what most people, they have like an intuition. They have like we think things are this way. We think, oh, that just makes sense, right? We just think that things work this way. But when you actually dig into it and you learn about it, you realize that what we thought is not really how things are. So especially this is really relevant when it comes to your credit reports. So we consider naturally, oh, what's on my credit report is static. It's stuck. It's going to be there no matter what, right? So I can't do anything. I can't manipulate it. I can't add to it. I can't subtract from it. I'm just a victim. I'm at the mercy of the government. Whatever they put on my report, that's what's there, and I'm just going to be quiet and go to work, right? That's what we assume is how the system works. It's not how it works. The system is very dynamic. You can add things to your report. You can remove things from your report. You can beef up your report. You can present yourself in a better light than what you are currently, maybe in reality. There's a ton of different things that you can do to make yourself on paper look fantastic, which would qualify you for all these sort of products via an unsecured loan, meaning there is no collateral backing it. There's no sort of assets to secure that loan. It would just be on the thickness, is what kind of thickness, or the comprehension, the overall comprehensive view of your credit situation. Whether it's EIN only, meaning only on your business credit, whether it's only on your personal credit, or whether it's a combination of both. So that's kind of how the credit game works in a nutshell.
Now, these lenders, quote unquote, are they available to us internationally, given that some of us are here down under with a time delay when we speak to Lance?
Yeah, you can register. You can get access to the American markets. You can establish a business here in America, start building up your business credit, and that would allow you to not only access, the loans we're talking about. Well, there's also, so let's just say if you do it in America, you could access those loans. There's probably, I'm not super knowledgeable, but I'm sure there are some sort of similar programs even in your home country. Definitely not as well established or as great as America, as America is just the head honcho when it comes to building credit and utilizing credit for what you want to get. We love new stuff in the US.
Again.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Make America even greater again.
Oh, hey yo, Maiga. Anyway, so we're going to establish you can get access to the business credit, so you can access to credit in America. Also, it can be a lead in to getting a permanent residency. So you can actually establish yourself as an American citizen if you want, or a permanent resident via your business credit. So it's a lead into that as well. If and when you establish your business in the United States. So lots of options in front of you there.
Just quickly, in case of default, for example, what are the ramifications?
They're going to take you out back and put you in the stockade. They're going to beat you every day for the next 12 hours. No, I'm kidding. We don't have debtor's prison anymore, so it's not going to happen. But what's going to happen is that's going to show up on your reports, right? So if you don't fulfill any sort of obligation that you agreed to as some sort of promissory note, and you have installments, and you don't make those installment payments, then they're going to come after you. They're going to say, hey, pay us our money. And if you don't pay the money, then after about 3 months, what they're going to do is they're going to say, man, we cannot get in touch with this guy. We've emailed, we've called him, we've mailed him a letter, and we're just not able to contact him. And they're going to do what's called a charge off. So they're going to write off that debt, typically on their taxes, and they're going to say, okay, we're not able to collect, so we're going to write off that debt as bad debt, and that information is going to be reported to your business credit or your personal credit score as a delinquent loan. Not only that, if you want to get new loan products with that same company, they're probably going to give you a hard time. So there are methods and techniques to get that issue solved out later on. I do not recommend acquiring these products or loans in bad faith, right? So you should always get them with the intention in good faith to pay them back and to make timely payments. You're entering into an agreement and a contract. You want to fulfill that agreement and contract. And if you know how to play the game, then you can leverage that asset for even more funds. So you don't want to backtrack on those payments, not only because you're going to have to deal with that issue, but also it's prohibiting you from creating and establishing even more credit, right? So if you think about it on a scale from like 1 to 5, if you're playing that sort of game, you're always going to be stuck between levels of 0, 1, and 2, right? But if you want to get to level 5, which might be multi-million dollars in available loans, then and you keep having to establish new entities and having them, marked down, then it could be an issue in the future. So my recommendation to everyone listening is to pay back the loans you take out, pay them back on time or in full, or however you like to do it, and use those assets as leverage to acquire more credit and continue to build up your credit profile. You're already in the private with your status correction and your SPC. You don't have to worry about some of the things that most people do. Your assets are in the private already. We know about the benefits of having our assets in the private already. So what I would do is make a good faith effort to continue and to fulfill your end of the contract.
So we're always having this intent to remain in honor, in good faith. How is this non-UCC financing?
Let me go on to the next question, and let me get to other people. But these are good, and then if you want to raise your hand, we'll come back to you. But David Aberman, thank you for your patience, my friend. Let's go to you.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to ask Ryan, did he receive my email I sent today?
I did, David, and I responded.
Oh, you did? Because I didn't see anything. I just want to make sure you got it.
I got it, and I'm looking forward to discussing. We just need the other 2 reports. You got the one, so I'm happy to hear it. We just need those other 2, and then we'll schedule a consult.
The other 2, I sent them all.
Oh, was it all in that one file? I'll look through the file in more detail.
Yeah,
I got 33 pages.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go through the full thing then. I just saw the first 3 pages and I saw Equifax. I didn't go through the whole thing. But if that's
No,
all there, then we're good to go.
Okay. Yeah. I just need to know how to get in touch with you again and get going.
Yeah, I responded with the details, and let's continue to follow up through email. We'll get you sorted here maybe by the end of the week, maybe the next day or two. We can schedule a consult.
Okay. And my other question is, if you're talking about the credit cards or credit that we get by establishing this way and purchasing things, there's no other way of remedy through the U.S. Treasury that we pay off this debt?
That's Paul Michael. I'm going to go over to him.
Paul Michael.
Oh,
Yeah, David,
okay.
it's free money. It's free money. It's not even your money.
Well, I understand. I just not quite understand how that he was talking about the credit.
Yeah,
and
you get
making sure you
money,
keep it up.
and you use the free money to get free house, free car, and then yeah, you take the free money that you get people for charging to use the car or the house, and then just to pay the little top of the interest payments. And what that does is it triggers to the credit bureaus that you're responsible, so they give you even more lines of free credit, more credit for free money. So I understand about the idea about, oh, well, I not only, Paul Michael, want the money for free, but I also want to discharge the money for free and whatnot. Let me tell you, you utilize your credits to benefit not only your own personal life, but also your community. I often hear, a lot of people in private consultations where they're like, what would you do if you had $1 billion that you didn't have to pay back? And some individuals that said, oh, I would own like 1,000 houses. And I was just like, what would you do with those 1,000 houses? Like, well, I just leave them for my family. You see, commerce is what breeds the evolution of society. Finding what is needed for our community, and people pay with their own credits for those needs in society. If everybody was able to get free money and to discharge the free money anytime that they spend it, then you would have just a large amounts of waste, huge amounts of waste. You're not listening to what your community is. You're just spending recklessly. So to be responsible, you need to listen to your community. That's really the only thing that God requires of you, is to listen to your neighbors on what they need and to give in charity or in commerce the needs of your neighbors, so then you can thrive better as a community. So we get you the free money so then you can invest it. I think the biggest issue, though, is in my own personal experience, is when you get access to funding and when you spend it on something that doesn't work out. I've done that with a number of businesses. I got a loan from the SBA. That was a high interest rate, by the way. Oh, I got a loan for this other business when I was doing my personal training. I got a loan for my healthcare business. Oh, and then I stopped that. I moved on to something else. And I thought to myself, well, I've had a lot of successes, just as many as I've had failures. But the failures are what bring you back into the matrix, man. The matrix is working the 9 to 5 and having somebody else tell you how much you're worth. That's what you want to get out of. And if you are able to get out of that matrix, that's what true freedom is. That's really winning the game. It's not so much discharging. It's getting out of that rat race. But the problem about people escaping the matrix is that there's so much liability with these loans. That's why combining what Ryan is teaching with operating in the private is a perfect marriage, because it solves that liability issue, not for the encouragement, as Ryan said, to be in bad faith, but in good faith. And in good faith, you're making the best effort for your community and to be responsible and to keep growing. And for that, you will be rewarded. And you're rewarded in 2 ways. One, you're rewarded and staying in honor. Exactly, Keith. And staying in honor. You're rewarded for being able to spend the money to grow your business, your lifestyle, and enrich your community. But you're rewarded for the other side of it too, which, Ryan, it's the rewards points.
Oh my
Well, I'm all
God.
for what you're doing there. Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to grasp it and understand it all.
Yeah, no. I totally get it, David. I totally get it, and I like your genuine question. But yeah, Ryan, like you get rewarded for spending money. How come I don't get rewarded the same way out of my savings account when I spend my cold hard cash?
Dude, if you're not making money when you spend money, you're doing it wrong.
You're
That's
doing
the
it wrong.
reality. You're doing it wrong.
Okay.
So, Dave, I just reviewed your documents there. I think, yeah, very interesting. So we have a lot to talk about the console. So I see all 3 reports there. We'll definitely get in contact through email more. So I do see the 3 reports. Last thing, reward points. Let's talk about that for a second. So, my personal story is one of the best ways I like to lead into it, is just myself. I've been traveling the last 6 years. So I've been around the world 3-4 times, lived in Aruba for a year and a half, about a year and a few months. I think it was a year and 6 months, man. I don't even know. It was awesome. Eagle Beach rocks. I've never been there before. I lived in Hawaii for like a year, like half a year. Lived in Europe for about a year and a half. Lived in Bali for 3 months, the Grand Hyatt on the beach. I've been all over the world, just traveling at first class, using reward points, staying at 5-star hotels with reward points. The lifestyle is better than being a celebrity because you get the celebrity lifestyle with the anonymity. So no one knows who you are. You'll have a group of people following you everywhere, but you still get the valet service. You still get the free breakfast, the free dinner, the free drinks. You get all the perks that come with being a celebrity as soon as you walk in those hotel doors. Or as soon as you get into that airport, really, because even in the airport, you got lounge access. So you're, thinking about just to paint a picture, who goes to the airport and likes sitting in that little lobby where a water bottle costs $5. You have these restaurants where it costs $20 for a sandwich. And you're like, this, it's a crappy experience. But
I know.
when you utilize reward points and travel, then you're going in the airport. You're going on your app. Okay, where's the local lounge in this airport? Okay, it's at gate 3 or whatever it is. You go to the gate, you show your boarding pass, and they scan your phone. And guess what? Now you got a buffet. You got free drinks. Heck, in Japan, they even had showers. So it's whatever you want to do. Let's say you're doing a transfer. But yeah, reward points are crazy. I mean, I can't express to you the difference in travel when you're comparing using reward points versus not.
Well, that's what I want to do. Be like your lifestyle.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Oh, I want to get rewarded. And so everybody will be, but you have to do the hard work in the beginning. We have to stick to our studies. We have to concentrate on what we need to do and what we need to learn on. And this is why we built the Academy the way it is. We're doing our absolute best to create a structure in your learning so there's not holes or puzzle pieces that are missing, that you get the complete picture on how to operate and benefit yourself, your family, and your community. And I'm really excited for this because it's so straightforward. It's so step-by-step, and it's time-tested. So we're really excited to be adding the additional instructors to the Academy, to have the LMS platform open and available, and to see the many new faces that are joining the Academy as well as to see the successes. Ryan, I'm definitely for these graduates that are getting access to their credits. We got to fly down. We got to fly down to Florida, California, and whatnot, and meet these individuals. And I really want to do that for all graduates. It's almost like graduation. I graduated. I get to fly or go somewhere for the ceremony, which is the ceremony with all of us, where we get to sit there and do business and dream big We
need like a golden gown.
We need a golden gown. We need a golden gown. Where's the
I'll get there
golden
soon.
Cap?
Yeah.
The golden cap.
You'll get there. Yeah, 100%.
Thank you,
tassel.
Oh.
Yeah, of course, David, absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%. I would, and we'll put action plans in that and give people goal time frames, especially in your class, which is growing every day, Ryan, for that. But everybody joining us on YouTube, we want to thank you for joining us today. And if you want to join Creditor Academy and be a part of this great organization, as well as the after hours where you can ask live myself and Ryan questions about the Academy, or even questions about your personal experience in your journey, you can go to creditoracademy.com right now and hit the Join Tuesday or Join Thursday link, which is every week at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. So if you want to join in the after hours right now, if you're watching on YouTube and you want to be a part of this live event, go to creditoracademy.com and hit that Tuesday live link, and you will immediately be transported into this live group right now. But until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Bye, YouTube.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And it's the after hours. All right. Elle, let's go to you.